Yes, I can finally title a video addressing the drama. So first of all, I don't know how people have time for this, but I'm going to take this time to go and clear up any bad air, any misunderstandings or questions about me. So first of all, social media is a really hard way to go and find out who somebody actually is. Okay, you see me for like a 10-minute video. I have an entire 24 hours in a day. YouTube is not my life. Nobody knows who I am or who you are until we meet in person. It's something I've learned in the last couple of years, and I think everybody learns it at this stage in their life. So before I start, let me say that I'm probably going to get a little bit heated. There's a couple accusations, most recently, that were against TDI, the training organization that I worked in, and also myself. But I'm going to try and stay impersonal. I'm going to try and just answer the questions. I know that there's a lot of misunderstandings about who I am. I post a lot about my life, and then there's another part of my life because of OPSEC and not getting doxxed and having my family get threats to their life every day. There's a lot of stuff that I hide, but I'm going to do my best to go and explain who I am and answer those questions. And also, I am not mad at anybody in particular. There's people with genuine questions, genuine concerns. Some people are louder than others, but it's okay. The military community, with all its amazing attributes, it's some of the best people you ever meet. It's also the most toxic environment you can ever work in. That is a fact. So let's start with this, something kind of light. I have a family dog named Lacey. She is my sweetheart. I love her to death. We've had her like for the last, I think, 6-7 years or so. I love her so much. I also have a family. I've got 2 sisters, my stepdad and my mom. I came from a broken family at the start, but the last majority of my life, I've had an amazing dad, and our family is very awesome. I love my family. I also love to travel to other places that I'll never share on this channel. All right, so I just like traveling. I live in a van when I'm back home. Obviously, I did a couple van life videos, but I've went pretty much everywhere. I love learning different cultures and languages. I also have a lot of hobbies that you'll never see on this channel because it would not go with the channel. Okay, I love PUBG Mobile and hiking. I love working out. I love Black Mirror on Netflix. The whole reason I'm saying all these things is I'm a normal dude, okay? I've got a life outside of YouTube. I've got a life outside of Ukraine or Iraq or Syria or Marine Corps. I am my own self. Anyway, if you're skeptical about my intentions with the channel, I don't blame you at all, okay? I've met a lot of scammers. I have been scammed before. So I just want to say I see your concern. If you're one of those guys who are like kind of skeptical about me, I don't blame you at all. So that's why I'm putting this video out. At the end of the day, I am an 0311, a Marine rifleman who is not fighting anymore. Every single day that I am not on the front line, I question myself and I have to stop myself from dropping everything. Dropping my friends and family and dropping my job and dropping, everything in life to go to the front line. But I've slowly realized that it's okay not to do that. It's okay to be a civilian. It's okay to be a volunteer. It's okay to be whoever you are. Just do your job as best as you can. That's all you can ask for, okay? You don't need to be in the most danger. You don't need to, just do your job, be good, and that's it. That's literally it. The next point I want to make, my channel was never a career until it started making money like it was. And even then, I make below the poverty line. And we'll get into the exact revenue cuts and who gets what percentage, but the government takes 24% because I'm an individual making my own job in this company of YouTube. They take 24% of my profit, even though I am not making above the poverty line. And also considering that, I live very frugally. I've never had a house. I never had a Lamborghini. I live in a van back in the States for the last couple of years. I live in a van, okay? Like, I know it's cool. It's like, oh, it's like a fad, but no, it's, it's kind of brutal living. You're living in a car in a parking lot. And I do that, and I love it. I live very frugally. I save all my money that I can, and I don't have any debts. I live responsibly. I don't drink. I am sober now. I don't smoke anymore. I don't do any drugs, even though I look like I'm on cocaine all the time. My YouTube channel has been around for like 6 years. It started off as a hobby. It was not like a get-rich-quick thing. For the first 5 years of my channel, I made like probably $100. I don't care. I just like talking. Well, it's only been the last year that I've not edited everything on my phone. The phone that I'm recording right now. I am now editing on an iPad. I'm too cheap to buy a MacBook, so I bought an iPad Pro. So yeah, I'm not living a crazy lifestyle. I'm just, I'm doing what I can. I don't really care. So yeah, when it comes to the videos that I post, obviously the majority of them right now, probably like half of them in the last year are like combat videos. And just so you know, 80% of the time that I post those videos, they're demonetized and age restricted. So here's this one, the most recent one, 250,000 views. It is demonetized and I make $30 off it. And also, when it comes to that video in particular, how much time do you think it took to blur those faces? My YouTube work schedule is usually about 9 hours a day when I don't have another job like training or instructing. My friends at TDI, my family, people who know me personally know that I spend the majority of my time editing, blurring faces, doing mindless work for $30. I don't know if you noticed, but I don't ask you to subscribe or like or any of that stuff. I don't have any sponsors. I can have a sponsor like that. Here's my email, my work email. It's got like over 1,000 emails, and it's all just asking, can we give you money for you to put in a 30-second ad in your video? And I just ignore them. I don't care. I honestly don't care. That is money that would go to me. I can make thousands of dollars more. You're not going to see that anytime soon. I just don't care. Money is not a problem for me. I lived in a van off of $600 a month. Like the video, dislike it. I don't care. I'm going to put out the videos that I want to. Also, my channel is not just combat posting. I am posting so much more than that. If that was what I was doing, like many other channels I won't name, but you all know, and I know as well, and I enjoy them, I would not be going to Ukraine to train for free. Training provides very little content for me. The videos don't perform as well. Just so you know, the instructors we have at TDI work for free. I've said this in pretty much every video. They work for free. And this is not light work. Most instructors want their faces blurred in photos and videos. They've been there for a year plus with no break, no glory, no social media. And unlike some people have said, at the end of our workday, the students aren't begging to go home. They applaud us as we applaud them for being the men in the arena. We love them and they love us. And this is a true connection. They come back for seconds, even thirds. They get done with the course and they're like, voluntarily too. They ask their commanders, can we go back for another run? Can we do the advanced training? Can we do the medical training now? Can we go back? The repeat classes. We've had so many repeat students, especially the last class that we had, like half of them were repeats out of like 35 guys that we had. You can criticize me. I'm a young guy. Like 100% I'm going to say something really stupid in the future. In the past, right now, I'm gonna say something really dumb that I'm gonna regret. But do not knock on our instructors. Our instructors are better men than most. For the majority of my time first teaching at TDI, I just shut my mouth and learned with the students. TDI instructors aren't just random dudes that showed up and wanted to help. They are experienced, and despite the manpower issue at TDI, our commander keeps an incredibly strict standard on who we take in. They can be extremely experienced, but not be the greatest at teaching a digestible lesson, and then we let them go. Respectively. The unsaid goal at TDI is that at the end of the war, when all is said and done, we want to have had the most impact on the war. We may have not taken a trench line. Maybe we didn't destroy a tank with a jet, but we helped save a life by teaching. And as far as I'm concerned, and our 10,000 graduated students of our 3-week medical course, 1-week TCCC course, 2-week basic infantryman course, assaulters course, mine clearance course, basic drone operators course, an FPV pilot course, we are on track for that goal. We teach in-depth stuff like trench clearing only in the assault course. I've ran range 400 and 410 Alpha more than I can count. I've lived in the tunnels of Shengal, which are literally just trenches but underground, and I've operated defensively and offensively in trenches in Ukraine and cross-trained with special forces from every branch in multiple war zones, in and out of combat. Above all, I've been surrounded by Ukrainian soldiers for a year of my life. My job as an instructor isn't to tell them what I did 7 years ago in the Marine Corps. The first thing I do in my class is tell them, after much deliberation and thought, this is how we do said topic. But if you have something that's worked for you in combat, please raise your hand and chime in. I'm not so much instructing as an instructor as I am setting up a training area and coordinating what we'll be training today. I have a way that I reload the AK. Is it the best way? Is it the only way? Will it work if your arm is shot off? Of course not. Show me how you do it, please. Also, when you see day 3 of a 10-day course, don't expect perfection. We take it step by step in a methodical, well-tested way. We are not winging this. We are not sex tours. We are not here to scam you out of your money. Just because we're not in Robotnia or Severodonetsk back in the day doesn't mean that we're not doing anything and just sitting in Kiev. We are out here as far east as we can safely do some training, and we are providing training. That is what we're doing. It's been less than 2 months since we had a sustainable amount of donations to support all instructors completely, and still, nobody gets a paycheck. They get a roof over their head and a car that works sometimes. It's enough for us. Some of the instructors gave everything to be here. Literally everything. We do not teach beyond our experience. Training is different from combat. We all know that here at TDI. Being an instructor is more than spreading your knowledge. It's passing on knowledge you learn from class to class. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. And sure, I'll milk the hell out of my combat videos, but it's mainly because I don't want to use other people's footage without asking them. I use the footage I gathered through the years in multiple combat zones, mainly as a backdrop on a topic I'm discussing, because it coincides. I'm the video editor here. Let me do my thing. My experience is well known and documented. I found that right now in my life, I am more useful raising awareness to Ukraine and what's happening while the world turns its eyes to something else, and also using my funds to help the people and brothers I love. This isn't a hustle for me. It never was. It never will be. I love what I do, and I know what I'm contributing to the war effort in my own way. If I can make this a career long term, so be it. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to pretend like, oh, as soon as the war ends in Ukraine, I'm just going to drop everything and work at McDonald's. My resume has it has nothing. I haven't worked a job in like years, like an actual job. But even then, I don't just focus on Ukraine. I have so much more content out there. I have lots of stuff I want to share. If I wanted to drop everything and become a van lifer, I could be much more profitable. Plus, it would be a lot more cozy. But believe it or not, I am a human. I have empathy. I hold tears back when students graduate from our courses. I donate, not to tell you all that I donate. This is probably the first time that most of you have heard that I donate, the majority of my income, and we're going to get into that. I care about my friends. I'm not there to go and, oh, look at how good I am. I care about my friends. That's all it is. Let's talk about pride now. Obviously, the main criticism I get being a YouTuber, an influencer, is that I am only posting these videos to boost my own ego. And in the past, certainly true. Absolutely true. I made a lot of videos about this. I'm probably the only YouTuber, especially a military guy, who has openly come out and said, yes, I dealt with pride and ego a ton. But since then, I have fixed myself. I would say I'm free of being tied to my ego for the last 2 years. I have matured. I'm 26 years old. When you're 18 years old, what do? You get tattoos of 0311 on your, I post like once a month on Instagram. Anybody who's watched the channel before it blew up a year ago knows I did not post anything when I was in Shanghai, Iraq, living in caves for 13 months. I don't use Twitter. I don't use Facebook, except for keeping up with family and close friends. And I never had a TikTok and never will. I'm not a social guy, believe it or not. And if you have those platforms, if you post more power to you. Oh, also, fun fact. This video probably has more cuts in it than you can imagine. I'm bad at putting my thoughts together when a camera is in my face. I'm also an introvert, but I feel very strongly about things. And I think very deeply on the intricacies of life, combat, and other things. So I share those experiences, and I criticize myself openly. To no surprise to anybody, I am not a super soldier. I have never shot my rifle in combat. I'm not that cool, all right? I'm not that cool. And, I'm very open about that, too. I make sure that everybody knows I'm just a normal dude. I'm your everyday infantryman.
I'm your average infantryman, Chris Cappy.
No, he's the everyday infantryman. I am the everyday dude. But I stood up for what I believed in the face of danger, and I did my job, and that's enough. So yeah, YouTube is an outlet for me. It is not a big dick competition. So I just had a thought. Maybe I'm not reading the room right, okay? I see how privileged I am, right? I'm a white male cisgender. No, I see what YouTube has given me. I see how lucky I am. There's a lot of people, if they could speak on camera, if they had a YouTube and knew how to edit, they would probably be a lot bigger than me. When I look at other people's channels, I wonder, why am I getting more views than them? I don't know why, but I'm going to continue doing my thing. The fame of YouTube was never my goal. I know what videos people want to see, so I share those videos to cast a better light on taboo topics. That's how I look at it. To be a tier 2 member of my channel, people get a lot of different videos. Some of them are uncensored videos of combat footage, yes, but most of the time it's just me talking or videos I'm not sure would be good for the main channel. Donations. I'm not going to be getting into the specifics of my donation contributions because of religious reasons, but here's a small amount that you can see here, and it's all to my friends and people that I wanted to support. And this is just what you can see. There's a lot of behind the scenes, but overall I have donated over half my revenue. So now is going to be the fun part. We're going to talk about revenue. I'm not going to be talking about how much I make. That is a personal thing. But I will be going into the percentages, how much people get for my videos, how much do I get, that sort of thing. So 24% of all my revenue goes to the US government. 50% of my revenue is given to my friends who provide combat footage to me. And the donations I receive are split into providing gear for the Ukrainians, donations, that sort of thing. Taking the trip down to my old combat area to demine. That's all from the donations. The last 26% of the profit goes to me, where I spend it on traveling to see my loved ones when I have the chance. My life is not in a place to be fully committed to Ukraine. I have a life outside of Ukraine, like I just said. So yeah, I used the remaining 26% to save money, live very frugally, and to see my friends and family because my life is traveling. That is my life. My life is my own, and I'm going to balance it accordingly. But with 26% of the profit from my channel, that's what I do. And here's the deal. I grow. If I decided to quit every time someone put me down, I would have been gone years ago. But I did not stop. I pushed through. I took their criticisms and bettered myself. I ignored the people wishing I would fall off a bridge, and I like to think that I've made a positive impact. And every single one of my subscribers knows that they impacted the war effort positively just by watching my videos. So here's the thing. This is not a video to target anybody in particular. People have misunderstandings. Some people are louder than others, but people are people. We have misunderstandings. We think we know the truth when we don't. And this is why I'm making the video. Some of my best friends in the world were once criticizing me very, very heavily. But once they saw who I was and we cleared the misunderstandings, we started lifelong friendships. That's the truth. If somehow what I said here doesn't make a difference on your opinion about me, I don't care. It's okay. But don't bavager me. Do not membo me. And for my English listeners, don't lie about me. Don't round me up with the bad actors. I am not just another foreigner. I am an agreeable person, and I work to sanctify myself every single day. I promise you that. I'm not perfect, but I sanctify myself. I'm trying to get better. So I want to finish on this. People are tearing you down. They're jealous of you, or they just want to see you burn. Take their criticisms and advice, turn it into something constructive, and move on with your life. You don't need them, but take their criticisms, try and learn from it. If you can't, move on. So to end this video, the reason I made this video is because I have a very personal channel here, okay? I am literally documenting my life. This is my life. This is what I've done in the last 6 years, my adult life. And every one of you deserve to know the ins and outs of who I am and what I stand for. You deserve that for your support to my friends, me and Ukraine. Knowing what I know, I probably wouldn't trust someone I never met in real life either. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to be skeptical. But don't lie about people. That affects people, like it really does. So that's all. Thank you for listening, and peace.
Unity, active duty, veterans, reservists, all that stuff is a really, really good community. And there's a lot of good people in it. But there's also a lot of people that are very toxic. And I've come to find that it is extremely hard to navigate because there's some people you might think were great people and they turn out not to be. There's also some people that you might think were terrible to start and then they turn out to be absolutely awesome human beings. I think it's a lot like every community, and the best way to do business is to just get to know people because that's the only way you can really know what people are about,